All right. Welcome. Okay, so here we go. We're going to continue with the book of Leviticus. We're at what, chapter 6?
6, verse 7.
Verse
Yes.
7. So we're continuing with the law. Now, if you understand, if you don't understand, I want you to understand at this time, God is a judge. And the judge, being a judge, he is going to give you a choice. He's going to tell you what the proper action is and what the punishment is for making an opposing choice. Okay? So God is a judge, which is why whenever he speaks, he says, if you do this, you will receive this. And if you do this other thing, you will receive this.
And that if is when. Yes.
If is when. So that when you do this,
yes.
you get this. When you do this, you'll get this. Then it gives a stipulation on who's supposed to do what when certain things happen. And if that doesn't happen, it will escalate into a bigger and a bigger problem.
Right.
Okay? So this is how it works. This is how law works. I know you're not familiar with this in the West because you're used to injustice. People not enforcing the base laws of humanity. Right? You're not used to it. So when you hear over here, if you commit these moral laws, you can face punishment in these modest societies.
Right.
And because you face punishments for breaking moral laws, you think that these countries are barbaric when it is fact you are the barbarians. Because you have no order, you have no control. And these things degenerate your society. So you lose structure, then you keep complaining about problems, social issues that you're having, but it comes out of your lack of law in the small areas. So now we're going to go to chapter 6, verse 7. We're going to continue. And this is the law of the mincha, right? The mincha, in which the priests, the sons of Aaron, shall offer in the presence of Yahweh before the altar. And he shall separate his handful of the flour of the mincha. So when you come in, you bring in your kilos. Out of the kilos you bring in, he's going to separate out his handful. That's it. Right? Thereof, and with frankincense, which is upon the mincha. So he puts frankincense on top of the flour and burn it at the altar to be received with favor as a memorial of praise before Yahweh. And that which remaineth of it. So after this handful, he puts some frankincense in it. He burns it. This is for God, for a good smelling savor. The rest of this flour is his to eat.
Wow.
You see that? So now the rest of this flour shall belong to Aaron and his sons to eat. Unleavened, they shall eat it in the holy place. In the court of the tabernacle of ordinance shall they eat it. Their portion of the residue of what's left over of the mincha of my oblation given to them shall not be baked with leaven. It is most sacred as the sin offering and the trespass offering. Every man of the sons of Aaron may eat of it. It is an everlasting statute for your generations concerning the oblation of Yahweh. Everyone who touches them must be sanctified. Okay, so you have to accept this. Okay? What this does not say, the Levites do not eat leavened bread.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So there's separations of this part, which was taken for this. They take a handful, and this is this, and this flour is for the unleavened bread. It is separate. The other flour for the That's not taken from this. The other flour, the rest of it, is they can leaven it. Okay?
Okay.
And Yah spake with Moshe, saying, This is the oblation of Aaron and his sons, which they offer before Yah on the day that they anoint him, that he may possess the inheritance of the high priesthood, a tenth of 3 seahs of fine flour for a mincha, 1/2 in the morning and half at eventide. So he has to make this sacrifice. Now, this is on his day of anointing. This is not every day.
Right.
But 1/2 in the morning, we have a prayer in the morning at sunrise, and then another prayer at evening time. So we continue with the traditions of Abraham and his 2 prayers, sunrise and sunset. Okay? Thou shalt make it upon a pan. So he makes his bread on a pan, mixed with olive oil. Thou shalt offer it in divided pieces. Thou shalt offer the mincha to be received with acceptance upon Yah. So it's broken up.
Right.
So this is where we get breaking bread from.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And the high priest who is anointed with oil, and also when any one of his sons who are constituted priests is consecrated in his place, shall perform this. It is an everlasting statute before Yah. The whole shall be set in order and burned. For every mincha of the priest shall be wholly set in order and consumed. It shall not be eaten. So each time, right, for each son that is born, that's going to be taken up this order, right? So you say, well, what if the priest lives to be 100? Well, he cannot serve in the office of the priesthood after 55. After the age of 55, the priesthood serves as a counselor.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to be an advisor. He's sitting there watching and ensuring that the practice is kept in perfect order and tradition after this age. And the young men who come up from the ages of, I think it's like 17, 18, or 19, from 19 to 55 will continue to serve. And they start to make up and make rank, and they serve in the position, and the elders watch over and ensure that everything is done with meticulous precision, because this is a life and death matter. Okay? And Yah spake with Moshe, saying, Speak with Aaron and with his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering, which is to be killed in the place where the burnt offering is killed. So this is the sin offering, which is to be done at the brazen altar, right? It shall be slain as a sin offering before Yah. It is most sacred. The priest who make atonement with the blood may eat of it in the holy place. It shall be eaten in the court of the tabernacle of ordinance. So the sin offering is eaten in the court. They eat it.
Wow.
And whosoever touches the flesh of it must be sanctified. So if I come and I make a sin offering and I'm with the priest and we have the burnt offering and the oblation, right? Am I allowed to eat it? Absolutely, because all the children of Israel are sanctified, set apart. They may eat of the offering and touch it. This is what the sanctifying of the people is for. The priests also are sanctified, but only the priest may perform this rite or cook this food in the temple.
Mm.
So what you're going to see now is food control.
Wow.
So we are controlling the food. How do you know whose house this is? You know whose house this is by who is cooking.
Mm.
All right? This is Levite's house. This is his place. This is where he does the service by command of Yah. I cannot go in there and perform any rites.
Mm.
Nobody can go in there and perform any of these sacred rites unto the name of the Most High because they want to. It must be performed by only Levi in this location. If I want to perform a rite to the Most High at my house, I can have my own earthen altar and I can do it there. I cannot do it exactly how the priests do it.
Right.
Right? With all of the holy things that are not to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I may have oil, but I don't have the sacred oil blend. I cannot sanctify or set apart like for the priesthood.
Right.
Because I don't have that. I may not have the sacred seasoning blend that the priests have. But I can season up
Right.
and offer to the name of the Most High. And I can put frankincense on the fire and oil and make a sacrifice myself. And you say, where you get that from? You made that up. No, Gideon did it.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham did it. Anybody who enters into covenant with the Most High does this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
But I cannot go and do it in the tabernacle of ordinance.
Mm.
Okay? Whosoever touches the flesh of it must be sanctified, and if any one let some of the blood fall upon a garment, the garment so be dropped shall be washed in the holy place, and every earthen vessel in which the flesh of it is boiled shall be broken, lest that which is common be boiled in it. So you can't treat anything's common here. This is not for
Yeah.
that. This is special. This is sacred. Okay? This is sacred rite. And of it be boiled in a vessel of brass, and it shall be scoured with potter's earth and washed in waters. Every man of the priest may eat thereof, it is most sacred. So it says sons of Aaron. What did I tell you? When the Most High says sons of Aaron, she's talking to the entirety of the priesthood. They are under his kingship.
You know, it sounds like, reminds me of, that the priests in them are the chefs, a restaurant.
It's a giant restaurant.
It's a giant restaurant.
It's a giant restaurant.
Wow. Because a customer can't just go in the kitchen and fix their food. You know, only the chef and the line workers, the line cooks, are responsible
for their jobs
of their food.
It's the same thing. So basically the sons of Aaron themselves, the bloodline, right? You're talking about the sons of Zadok or Sadiq, depending on your pronunciation. These are the head chefs. Right? There's other duties that come with it, but the head chef and what your order you're reading, you have to understand there's an order for festival days, there's an order for regular days, right? So you have a regular day, you have a Shabbat day order, you have a new moon festival day order, and you have a high holy day order. So when you go, or if you go at any given time, you're going to see certain things that are just common.
Right.
And then other things you won't ever see unless you have to be inside during a special occasion. Okay?
Okay.
And you see, every man of the priest may eat thereof, for it is sacred. But no sin offering whose blood is carried into the tabernacle of ordinance to make atonement in the sanctuary may be eaten. It must be burned with fire. So the blood we don't eat. It has to be cooked. Nothing is raw. And this is the law of the trespass offering. It is most holy. In the place where they killed the burnt offering, they shall kill the trespass offering, and the blood thereof shall he sprinkle upon the altar round about, and he shall offer all the fat thereof, and the tail, and the fat which covereth the inwards, and the two kidneys, and the fat which is upon them, and upon the inwards, and the caul that is upon the liver, and the kidneys he shall take away, and the priest shall burn them at the altar an oblation before Yah as a trespass offering. Every man of the priests may eat of it. So every tribe of Levi may eat this. It is in the holy place. Shall it be eaten? It is most sacred. As the rite of the sin offering, so is the rite of the trespass offering. There is one law for them. So sin offering, trespass offering, they perform the exact same rite. There's no difference.
Now, what is the difference between a sin and a trespass?
Sin offering, trespass offering, there's no difference. Okay? So if I do something to someone, right? I have trespassed.
Okay.
Right? I have encroached upon someone else's possessions. This is trespass.
Okay.
Right? Sin offering can be so small as I feel guilty about something.
Okay.
You see? So I have done something, I thought it was right. I find out there's a law and it's not right to do. There's a sin offering. So there's a sin offering if you eat meat and cheese. Right? You're guilty of this. There's a sin offering that has to be given for eating meat and cheese or milk and meat together. Okay?
Okay.
Why? It's a sin. There's a law saying don't do it. You do it. Now you're guilty. You have to come and bring the sin offering for this.
Okay.
So, like I said, sins is the full spectrum. Trespasses is even if I do something against my neighbor. I've trespassed against them.
Okay.
Where are we? Yada, yada, yada. Verse 8. And when the priest offereth another man's burnt sacrifice, the skin of the burnt sacrifice which he offereth shall be the priest.
Ooh.
So now the priest, when you bring a burnt sacrifice in, right, after they kill it and they cook it, the skin of it, which will be made into leather, it's the priest. They make their own leather.
Wow.
So now you start to see everything starts to come in and create its own sub-economy. And every mincha which is baked in the oven, and every one that is made in a pot or in a frying pan or upon a dish, the priest who offer it shall have it for his own. So understand that the brazen altar is not used in common.
Right.
So the priests, they have an area even outside. We'll get to this because some of this you have to understand what is the ordinance for the tabernacle, which is small, and the group of the people is small, and how this function in the temple, which is large, and the numbering of the people is large. So any priest can perform this
act.
Any priest of the temple can perform this act. Any priest in the suburbs at his home can perform these acts of atonement.
And listening thus far to the duties of the priests, they're doing women duties. They're the Proverbs woman.
Yes.
It really is.
You have to look at it this way. In the presence of the Most High, every man is like unto a woman. Okay? So I, as a prince, am covenanted to the Most High. Me and all the people of my house, all of my brethren. Right? So if I am of a prince of the just a regular prince of the tribe of Judah, I'm covenanted myself. But everybody who works for me and everybody who lives with me is also to be covenanted at a time. Maybe not all at once, but
Right.
this is the process. People come in, they start to learn, they want to live. Okay, if you want to live here, we have rules. You have to obey our rules. You have to obey our customs and traditions. You have to walk in our way. That's the way it goes. It's a absorb in thing. It is the opposite of how everybody else is functioning today. Everybody else today functioning, and it's an evangelizing thing. We go out and we impose this upon you and say, your way of living in this place is wrong. Change now. Become this. Become that. Do things how we do it, how we see is right. And that's not the way our law works. Our law works as we gather to ourselves, and as people want to join us and become a part of us. Okay, here it's like this. There, you do what you want. But here, we keep our law in our way, and you join us. That's the way it works. It's an incoming thing.
Okay. Did you want to check the camera?
I do. Let me check the camera.
So that's what the Proverbs woman does.
All right, so had to change out and swap out the battery. So she's just recognizing, okay, so if you read Proverbs 31, you'll see all these duties that the women are supposed to coordinate and work together in her home. The same rule applies to the men because we together work as a coordinated team to keep the kingdom functioning, right? Through the administration, through the communities, and then finally down to our towns and our homes individually. So when you want to keep things functioning, there has to be an order. Well, the same order that's given to the women in Proverbs 31 is given to the men in the developing and the building of a nation. So everybody has the same job in different levels. The men on this level, the women on the next level, and then continuing on to future generations to replace the generation before. So yeah, this we're not talking any of your fancy words about trying to be oppressive in any way. We all have the same job. I'm just doing it on the man's level. You're doing it on the woman level. Right? You may be a woman and you're doing these things in the home with a team of other women. And I'm doing this in the community with a team of other men.
Right.
So what are we complaining about? You mad? Why? You want to be the wife to the Most High? He don't want you. He didn't pick you. He appointed you to help me so we can take care of these children and build our communities.
Yes.
Everybody in their level. Why you want to make everything upside down and then complain that, oh, there's no protection? No, you don't have protection in an upside down society because you put the children on top and they can protect nothing. They were looking to you for the protection. You put upside down society, and now you here, and the men are relaxing and twiddling their thumbs and become like children, and you're angry because you want him to now be a man, but you refuse to get out of the seat and become woman.
Right.
Well, as long as you sit in the chair, he can relax because you get hit with all the bullets.
Right. Yeah.
You see? If you stop protecting the men and come under him for the protection, he has to step up and he's going to use the strength that he was given to protect.
Yes.
If you want to be equal, well, as men, we different.
Yeah.
I stand side by side as a man, and I could look at him and say, okay, you're going to take some hits, and I'm going to take some hits, but
Right.
we're going to get through this together.
Right.
Now you get over there, you start taking blows, and you start asking yourself, wait, this hurt.
Yes.
No, 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 we equal. Shut up and take it like a man. We equal. And then the man is saying to himself, man, this woman's stupid because if she didn't want to be equal, I would have to take this all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can do is coordinate with other men to share the load a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of the way.
Yes. Wow.
All right. Da-da-da-da.
Verse 10.
Verse 10, and every meat should mix with oil, or which is dry, shall be for any of the sons of Aaron, a man as his brother. You want to know my religion? Brotherhood. Right here.
Yeah.
10. Shall be for the sons of Aaron, a man as his brother.
Yes.
Brotherhood is here.
Yes.
For Aaron, a man. Not Aaron is a man, but Aaron and a man as his brother. So I can eat with Aaron. And we can eat the oil bread or the dry bread,
Right. Right.
the leavened and the unleavened,
Right.
the meat and the salt.
Right.
The entirety of this salt covenant is putting peace between me and my brother and Aaron and whoever else is here in the mediation. And it's an oath, a covenant to not commit this sin again for the betterment of us all as a whole.
Mm.
The sin and the trespass offering is about recutting the covenant again.
Mm.
And I know now never to do it again. Otherwise, these same people will come to kill me. That's why the punishments are so harsh. It is to keep people from repeating them.
Right.
But you don't want this. So you die, wondering where is justice. There is none because you refuse to live under this law which I am teaching you. Because the other people, they have their law. You have to, of your own free will, submit to this law and build this kingdom with the money you have already. We only need a little bit. You act like you can't send $1.
Ooh.
There's billions of us. I would have $1 trillion right now if every natural born Israelite gave $1.
Mm.
I can buy the country. We can all move in. But one step,
Mm-hmm.
because I know you guys don't move until you see destruction. Don't worry. It is coming. And you see it coming, and you're trying to figure out every way to make it stop. When it hits, and you recognize there was no way to make it stop, some of you will join me. All right. And this is the law of the sanctified victims, which they may offer before Yah. If he offer it for thanksgiving, let him offer with the oblation of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, and flour fried with a mixture of oil. Upon the cakes he shall offer his oblation of leavened bread with the hallowed sacrifice of thanksgiving. So thanksgiving comes with leaven. No, Thanksgiving, not that day that you talking about over in the West. We have Thanksgiving every day.
Now, what's a sanctified victims?
So all the animals that may be offered are sanctified victims. Okay? So imagine this. If everybody give an offering for whatever, Thanksgiving, maybe they sin, maybe there's a trespass, right? When this animal is cut and its members divided, every man only eat a little bit.
Right.
So you don't kill all the animals just because you offered it. So there's an overflow. So they're still alive, they're still eating, they're still separated. This is for burnt, this is for oblation, and that's the only separation, but everyone for burnt is burnt because the trespass and the sin offering the same. And the oblation is for thanks, and it's all the same. So they just can't eat it. So I can take any one at any time and make the sacrifice, and of all the food that is prepared, we all eat it. I don't have to sacrifice every animal that you give as you give it. Right? We're not wasting.
Right.
So I can take any one of the sanctified victims, even though I brought one. If there is one already ready, we
Right.
just eat from here.
Okay.
So when you're watching the priest prepare it, it does not matter whether it was the one you gave. What you want to see is that he follow the procedure for every animal. Because if you witness him doing it to your brother's sacrifice and you don't say nothing, you and the priest guilty.
Right.
All right. And
14.
of it he shall present one as a separation before Yah. The priest who sprinkleth the blood of the hallowed sacrifice shall have it. And the flesh of his hallowed sacrifice of thanksgiving shall be eaten on the day when it is offered. None of it may be laid up or covered up until the morning. So whatever is cooked for a hallowed sacrifice, it has to all be eaten that day. So now they're not killing all the animals. Just the one that is killed, that the blood is sprinkled, we all have to eat this today. So if I got 400 people here and we got 10 cows, guess what? We're going to kill one cow today because we have to eat all of this cow.
Right.
One cow feed from 300 to 400 people. No, we eating all of this. No, because we can't save it till the morning.
Right.
And what remaineth of the flesh of the hallowed sacrifice on the third day shall be burned in fire. So you don't eat. So if we sacrifice today, I can eat it today till tomorrow's sundown. At tomorrow's sundown, right? It is finished, right? It is set apart to be burned in the fire.
Yeah, we skipped 16 because that talks what you just said.
Okay, but if the hallowed sacrifice be a vow or free will gift, the sacrifice may be partly eaten on the day when it is offered, and the remainder may be eaten on the day following. At evening, what remaineth of the flesh of the hallowed sacrifice on the third day shall be burned in fire. So it's only, we don't eat 3-day-old food. It is forbidden by law of all of the food, all of the meats which we are to eat. So that, see, it says free will, right? So if I decide of my own free will, I'm going to eat something today, this is a sanctified victim. It is sanctified for me to eat. It is listed in the book of the law. I may eat it of my own. However, I can only eat it today and tomorrow.
Right.
After that, it is a no good in the evening. Sundown tomorrow, that's it.
So that means no frozen meats, no sausages and bacon and all Beef, bacon, and
Nope.
sandwich meats like turkey and
Nope. And I know what people are going to say. Hey, yo, wait a minute. Wait, so you trying to tell me that everything is illegal? Yeah, everything is illegal. That's why you have to raise it yourself so that it can be done legally, lawfully for you to eat. This unlawful. So if you don't control your food, somebody else do it. They'll do it according to what they think is good. What saves them and profits them money. However, we're not discussing money. We're talking about health, a law that is given to us about how we are to eat. You're dying because you're eating unlawfully. Here's what happens if you eat it. If eating, he will eat of the flesh of his hallowed sacrifice on the third day. It shall not be accepted of him who offered it, nor reck it to him for righteousness. It will be a profane thing, and the man who eateth of it shall bear his sins. So it negates the entire sacrifice. No forgiveness. If you cannot govern your belly to eat things in their proper time, then you have no atonement. So if you got your own animal, right, and you sacrifice it, you have to sacrifice it today. You have to eat it today, and at the latest, tomorrow before sundown. After that, you have you have abominated yourself. Right? If the flesh of hollow things touch any uncleanness, it must not be eaten, but be burned in the fire. As to flesh that is consecrated, everyone who is clean by sanctification may eat of the hallowed flesh. But the man who eateth of the flesh of the hallowed sacrifice that is offered before Yah with his uncleanness upon him, that man shall be destroyed from among his people. So now this blocks out people. So you can't eat our sanctified oblations with us, and you're not sanctified with us in our law. It's our food, our way. Food control. So we have to have food control. So now we have control over our food. You can eat all the vegetables you want, but of this sanctified meat, you cannot eat it if you won't participate in our law with us. All the seasoning, all the goodness, you cannot have none of this. Our sanctified food, if you don't participate with us in our law. So it seals people out. But we want the forgiveness. We want to worship you and your God. Fine. That's all fine and dandy. You have to keep our law in our way and fulfill the obligations of our law. And you're free. You can eat and enjoy all you want. It's food control, which means you have to own the land to receive the food from the ground up. You have to control it from seed. Now that's why I keep saying no land, no law.
Yeah.
It even says which specific land to start. It says which specific land you possess. It says which specific land is best for his people. We're talking about 12 countries as a part of one nation. And in actuality, I'll tell you the truth, it's 36 countries. So I'm right now only focused on the 12 because the other 24 countries are waiting for the first 12 countries to get their shit together.
We got to get it together, y'all.
What? It's not that you don't have a king that is recognized by the other 24 countries. You do. I am recognized.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you don't have a king that doesn't know the law and cannot teach. As you can clearly see, I do know the law and I'm able to teach.
Mm-hmm.
Your problem is you don't want to just surrender to him. You rather talk to the nations and swear to them that they will receive a punishment of the wrath from a Messiah, right?
That's dead.
That's dead. What is this weird thing? You want something to come from somewhere to do something to somebody, and if you want to punish these people, the simple thing you can do, this very simple, right? Say, all right, you know what? You see this one here, the one you don't listen to, the one nobody cared about, the one who's teaching this law, the one that is living this life, the one that wants to build for us our own nation and is working to do this for us. We invest in him and you don't know about it. It's not LeBron, it's not Kyrie, it's not Kanye. Forget all of them. We have this one man and he's a secret. And we give him and he's buying this land. And then slowly, in secret, you buy your plane tickets, your passports, you come out, you move in, and you start fresh, and you tell them, to you. To you. This is what you do. I'm not going back to hell with you. You're the government, you're the religion, everything. I have a law. We keep this law here. You will see the entirety of their system fall down because the entirety of their religion is about keeping you a slave. Right? They separated you from the land. Who owns the land in America? I'm telling you, you have to come back home to own land here where you don't pay taxes. You have to make your own school so you don't pay to go to school. Everything you're paying for is free in our law, in our society, but you don't want to make it that way. I want a Benz. Are you stupid? We can make cars better than Benz. We can make better. You just have to invest and buy back land, and we take control over our own food and build everything. The world's greatest kingdom from the ground up. You think the kingdom going to come down from the sky. I know some of you do. You're delusional. So a golden kingdom comes out of heaven and comes down. I want to know who's hooking up the plumbing. You still need water. Right? You eating, you drinking. If you eating, then you drinking water and food, right? How are you going to the bathroom? Where is this water going? How does this plug into the plumbing system of the land so that the waste go here and this goes there? And this golden city, where is it landing? So this golden city just comes down out the sky, plops down on top of people, and they die instantly. They were alive. A city came down. It hit us. It squashed us all. God didn't care about us.
So if you're there when the city comes down, you're dead.
No, but God knows He's make the city. And wait, this city comes down, right? It's a city of gold. So this gold city with golden streets, sidewalks, roads, man, this is gonna block out an entire continent. Come down and land. I got one question, okay?
Who gonna live there?
Yeah, how are you gonna live there and eat food?
If you
Who filled the supermarket for this city that came out the sky? The angels? So the angels went down to Walmart and put things nicely on the shelves? No, I'm serious. No, the angels. And in this house is mansion upon mansion and everything. How you know which one yours?
But if you dead, how you gonna live in it?
No. These people are alive. I want you to know, how do you know which mansion is yours? I know. Now we have usher angels. Hey, right this way. Your house is 3 miles this way, 2 miles this way, around the corner, and in the back. Come, I walk with you. We'll get there in 3 days. Because you don't have any cars in these golden streets. Right? How you getting around?
Oh, goodness.
You stupid. You have to be.
That's foolish.
Basic civil engineering. People have to move around. They have to get here. This has to plug in to the water and the recycling system. You're living in a city of gold. Where's the food? You know, gold don't grow nothing.
Right. Yeah, so where would they get their vegetables and stuff if the ground is
Could you imagine?
gold?
This city have to be the size of Africa. And could you imagine if you don't live near the edge where there's water? Could you imagine? How you getting water in the middle? There's no plumbing. Oh, I know. The angels make a water filtration factory. Who's working this factory? What training does anybody? You just die. You desalination. You go to this side, you work in this factory every day, you're pulling on the lever and making sure you pump out the salt. But you live in the middle. You have to travel for 8 days to get to your house. Woo! You have to be incredibly foolish. This heaven right here, we on it. We in this earth. So remember my saying, we're going to get there one step. Okay? One step at a time, one day at a time. Get rid of this. Idolatry is not in religion. The religion is issued by the kingdom that you are in and its laws. So its laws tells you to worship to its God. Period. The same way my law tells me the worship to my God and the law of my kingdom, every kingdom the same. I'll see you all tomorrow.
One step.